Good evening, everyone. Although it's morning here in France with the time difference as I'm recording. Best wishes for the New Year's, the New Year 2021. The only thing we can wish for this year, I think, is to hopefully resume being maskless and hugging people once again. I'm going to read you a text for tonight that I wrote in early December, so after the result of the November elections, but before the events that unfortunately unfolded last week with the riots. But I think you will hopefully find it informative and hopefully entertaining. It's called We Are Groot. As I begin these words, the US presidential elections have been over for 35 days, November 1st, 3rd. There are 28 days, January 6th, before Congress ratifies the electoral votes for Joe Biden as president-elect, and 42 days, January 20th, before he is inaugurated as the next president of the country currently being misled by HBICWAW, pronounced Ashbikwa, or head buffoon in charge with autocratic wish. Despite the states certifying the results of the elections today, including Georgia after its third recount, despite an overwhelming 7 million popular vote win for the president-elect Joe Biden, despite an unprecedented voter turnout in this country, despite being labeled as the most secured election in history, Ashbikwa has yet to concede, and he keeps whining and making baseless election fraud claims. What a sore loser. His supporters, or should I say disciples, his Fox and friends, and 90% of the GOP are lining behind their guru to lie about the illegitimate elections. Ashbikwa, tired of rant tweeting and afraid someone might miss his everlasting lies, his untrustworthy behavior, his angry, pointless tirades, has even recently hosted a rally in Georgia, supposedly in support of GOP Senate candidates. Well, we know now what happened, but really to chant with his disciples election fraud, much the same way as the tree-looking character of the Avengers franchise, endowed with a three-word vocabulary, and regardless of the situation, he says, "I am Groot." Thus, Ashbikwa should tweet, rant, and rally repeatedly for the foreseeable future, along with anyone who has ever endorsed him and supported him. We are Groot. The effect would be the same, and it would save us all with a brain from shaking one head sideways so often that painkillers are reaching a near overdose level. Ashbikwa's own personal lawyer and their legal team have lost all lawsuits against election fraud or voter fraud. Then they could scream, "We are Groot." And their crowds could cheer in unison, "We are Groot," vowing to never give up despite catching COVID-19 in droves or quitting for some. Meanwhile, Ashbikwa is playing golf and lining his pockets with cash raised officially for the legal team against voter fraud. He may even be planning his own counter-inaugural ceremony where everyone in attendance will greet each other with "We are Groot," and repeat throughout the day for anyone to hear, "We are Groot." It would be funny if it were not both pathetic and unprecedentedly undemocratic. Undoubtedly, Ashbikwa will collect the most negative superlatives of any president in history, but he is, and he will unfortunately rot the GOP and democratic political landscapes for years to come. On one hand, the US citizens have shown more of their democratic enthusiasm than in any previous US presidential elections. On the other hand, Ashbikwa's relentless sabotaging of democratic institutions will hurt the country, polarize its citizens for years, if not decades to come, whether the law and possibly prison catch up with his lifelong thieveries. Let's hope Ashbikwa, his venomous wife, and co-conspirator children will not take to China as they depart the White House come January 20th, 2021, chanting all along, "We are Groot." Thank you for listening and watching.